between Celtic and the current Premier Division champions, Rangers. The last time they met, in late October, Rangers got the upper hand in the Skull Cup final at Hampden.
Oh, and it's turned in by Elliott! Celtic have scored! Walters, 1-1. Oh, and is it in? It is. It's Richard Gough.
A winning goal from the skipper Richard Gough, the first domestic silverware of the season in Scotland, safely in his hands. Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to Parkhead. A 53,000 all-ticket sellout inside the ground, the biggest sports crowd anywhere in Britain this weekend, and you have the best seat in the house. You're probably nearer to a wee warming dram than we are as well. Now, one look at the current Premier Division table shows you how crucial this match is this afternoon. Rangers, if they win it, they go top. If Celtic lose, well, some good judges are saying that they would be out of the chase for the title. The ace in their pack, the darling of Parkhead, Charlie Nicholas, who came back last week against St Mirren after 10 weeks out of the game with a hamstring injury and did everything but score. The legs, well, on the day not as good as they used to be, but with the time out of the game that he's had, that's forgivable. But the old head's still managing to get a shot on target. In fact, he did everything on the afternoon, Charlie, except score. Good effort in the second half, back off the post. Terraces willing him on. I'd love to have seen him hit the back of the net. This is a glorious ball from John Collins. Great first touch, but again he was denied. Legs like rubber at the end, he said, but he felt good. And how about the one that got away? Playing in the blue of Glasgow Rangers, of course, these days, Mo Johnston. 4 goals for Rangers last week at Motherwell. This, the second of them. He knows where the back of the net is. Whilst Charlie's been out, he has been consistently scoring good goals like this one. It's Mo making the initial challenge. Great awareness from Ali McCoist. Good turn. And that on the day, number 2 for Rangers, who of course went on to win by 4 goals to 2. Well, our guest here at Parkhead this afternoon, Murdo MacLeod, formerly of Celtic, Borussia Dortmund, and Scotland, or should I say, still of Scotland.
Okay.
That will do. Great atmosphere.
Yeah, tremendous. Absolutely tremendous. Full house. It doesn't matter how many turn up for a Rangers Celtic game, there's always a great atmosphere.
They seem to sing a bit louder when they come in here as well.
That's right. Every week they're always behind their side. But when Rangers and Celtic are playing against one another, they sing louder than ever.
Quick word then about the teams which have just come through to us. No Ali McCoist in the Rangers starting lineup. Now, I know he hasn't been playing regularly this year, but he tends to do well against Celtic.
Yeah, I think Ali's got a great scoring record against Celtic. All the big games he's scored in. But he's a great person to have on the bench for Grimson to bring on. If the game's not going Rangers' way, he'll stick Ali on.
Johnston in the mood, has been all season.
Yeah, he'll always score goals, always score goals.
Charlie Nicholas, as we said, out for something like 10 weeks with that hamstring injury, but back last week, played in the Brian Robson testimonial match at Manchester United in midweek.
Yeah, I think Charlie will be a big influence today. With Paul McStay not playing today, I think Charlie will come in, he'll use his presence, he'll help the younger boys round about him. They'll cause problems today.
Yeah, that's the downside for Celtic, of course, the fact that Paul McStay doesn't play.
Yeah, it's a big disappointment for them. Paul's been their key player all season. He takes the ball, he's the skipper now. He's done very well. But today, not playing in such a big match, but the rest of the team will be looking towards maybe Charlie or Jordan Collins to take more influence on the game.
Would you go along with what many of the judges are saying, that if Rangers win this, okay, their season's alive. If Celtic lose, they are out of the title chase?
I don't think Celtic are ever out of the title race. They'll always challenge back. But I think when it comes to 6-8 points behind top of the league, they'll find it hard to get back up there.
Bet you wish you were down there now, don't you?
Yeah, it's just looking back, it's brought back a few memories. Scored a few important goals out here in Old Firm games. Atmosphere's tremendous. No, it'd been great to play today.
Can you remember the best and the worst of what, more than 30 derby matches?
Yeah, I think my very first Old Firm game here, we had to win the league. Celtic won 4-2. I scored a goal in the last kick of the ball to make it 4-2. That's a highlight here. probably the worst result we had. We only lost once in 10 years. Alec Miller scored the winner, the new boss. We lost 2-1. So we've got good memories here.
He took the 4-2s. There was a 4-2 at Ibrox, going back, what, nearly 7 years now. I think Charlie Nicholas got the last kick of the game that particular day, his last kick in a Celtic jersey. He got a couple of penalties on the afternoon.
That's right, I remember the game very well. We had to hope Dundee United lost to Dundee for us a chance to win the championship. On the day Dundee United won, but we went to Ibrox, done our job. Charlie 2 penalty kicks, the last one a couple of minutes from Ben was his last touch of the ball for Celtic.
Derby matches are naturally, of course, always passionate, lively affairs. They divide cities. I've seen them all over Britain, never been this close to this one. What makes this different and arguably the best?
Nobody can ever answer that. Them that can answer that, I don't think they're going to give you the right answer. This is just a game that's so special. You can listen to it just now. You can't hear yourself talking over it. It means so much for the city. People can go to work happy on Monday morning, or some people don't go to work on Monday morning, depending on the result of this game.
Is it unfair to describe it as tantamount to war? I remember sitting in the studios watching a game back in April at Ibrox. Rangers won it 3-0, but my goodness me, they were flying into some tackles on the day.
Yeah. No, I don't think you can ever describe this game as war. I think two teams are just desperate to win. There are 22 right good professionals out there, desperate to win, especially this game. There'll be a lot of hard tackles today. I don't think it'll be a dirty match. The conditions are a wee bit windy, the grass will be wet, slippy. There'll be a lot of hard tackles, but it'll never get out of hand.
First touch has got to be good, and you've got to know what you're going to do with the ball almost the minute you get it.
That's right. I think especially the Celtic midfield, who like to play the ball around against the hard tackling Rangers midfield, or Purlock, Spackman. I think it'll be a good contest in the middle of the park.
Which way will it go?
Whoever wins the midfield battle, their side can win the game today. But I feel Celtic's got a wee edge because of the Rangers injury problem.
Well, it promises to be a marvellous match. Let's settle back and enjoy it. Celtic against Rangers, live from Celtic Park. Our commentary team this afternoon, keeping a fairly low profile, is Andy Gray and Jock Brown.
Thank you, Richard. Yes, it's some 27 years since I saw my first Old Firm game. I've seen many since then, but that special tingle of excitement remains on every single occasion. Murdo MacLeod, Andy, had a view on what made this game so special. What do you think?
Well, Murdo says that you can't put your finger on one thing, and I think he's probably right, Jock, but what I think gives this game added incentive and makes it a bit special is it's not just about Glasgow this game. You get Rangers and Celtic supporters the length and breadth of the country, and really it's a whole country that is divided, and that doesn't really happen in any other country in the world apart from in Scotland. It's quite unique, and that makes it a little bit special. You only have to listen to what's happening below us. This is fantastic stuff.
No, the other thing too that makes it so special is the position here we have. There is the camera gantry there, with what's known here as the jungle right below us. And I can tell you, Andy Gray might not want to say this, but he is not the most popular man within the stadium in this particular position, and I think you may be expecting some more abuse, Andy.
I would be very disappointed if the Celtic fans don't let me know that they know I'm up here, Jock, and I don't think it'll be long before they actually do.
The other thing that's amazing, though, about Old Firm matches surely is the fact that when an Old Firm game comes around, it does appear to have special significance, frequently of a different kind, but this is no different, really, is it?
Yes, it was interesting that Richard asked Murdo about the points if Celtic should lose. I think that is the big question that's got to be asked today, as if Celtic do get beat, is that them out the championship race? I tend to think if they go 6 points behind Aberdeen and Rangers, then they will find it very, very difficult to get back, Jock. So the pressure is on Celtic in that respect to win the game. The other pressure that's on Rangers is, will the new look centre-half partnership of Scott Nisbet and John Brown, how that will perform, how that will cope with the likes of a revitalised Charlie Nicholas, who was desperate to get a goal, his first goal of the season, and he would love to score it today. So all these questions are here to be asked. And of course, young Sandy Robertson, which is Old Firm debut today. What a game for a young lad to come into. It must be tremendous excitement for him.
It is remarkable. And are you surprised that both sides have brought in 19-year-olds to this match for the first Old Firm games? Mark McNally for Celtic and Sandy Robertson for Rangers.
I'm surprised, and normally I would have been surprised, Jock, but I think it shows you that the high esteem that Billy McNeill and Graham Souness must hold for these lads. I don't think it would be their ability that would be in question. It would be their temperament they would worry about. Would they be able to handle the pressures that go along with an Old Firm game? I think having both been selected, both managers are saying, I think these players have got the temperament and they can handle it. I certainly can speak for Sandy Robertson, having known him when I was at Ibrox for 10 months with him. He is a lovely lad. He has got a super temperament, Jock. And I don't think he'll be overawed with this at all. He will relish it. He's a type of player that will relish it. And I'm sure Matt McNally can't wait to get out on the park as well and show us what he's capable of.
Well, a lot has been made, of course, of the Rangers' injuries for this match. But Celtic have only one injury, but it is a very important one, Paul McStay. How will that affect the match?
I think last year, Jock, it would have affected them tremendously. I think having signed John Collins, losing Paul is not such a bad blow for them. When they have someone like John Collins who can create, he can make things happen for Celtic, very much in the way that Paul McStay can. And I think it's been notable this season that Paul McStay's probably had one of his most influential seasons. And I think that's because John Collins has taken a lot of the burden of being the sole creator in the Celtic side away from Paul. So I think they're lucky to have someone like John Collins who will still be able to create for them today.
And there is another interesting selection made by Celtic in view of the excellent form shown by Lex Bailey in the last couple of matches. He keeps his place, but some people may think he's too similar to Paul Elliott. They've left out Anton Rogan. Do you think that may be of significance for the Rangers attack?
No, I think Rangers having picked Mark Hateley, then Celtic having Lex Bailey and Paul Elliott at the back, that will suit them perfectly. I tend to think had Rangers picked an Ali McCoy's Boris Johnson front line, then I do think they may have caused more problems to big guys like Paul Elliott and Lex Bailey, who may have suffered a little bit more. But I think you pick the men in form in this game, Jock. You don't sort of be influenced by sentiment. If Lex Bailey's in form and he's doing the business for Celtic, I'm sure Billy McNeil, no doubt, I'm picking him. He's on my side.
The other selection of some interest too appears to be the absence of Ali McCoy. Now that's by choice because we know he is fully fit. But I think Celtic might be quite happy that he's not playing.
I think Celtic will be delighted that he's not playing. He's got a tremendous goal-scoring record against Celtic, and they will be glad that he's sitting on the bench. But they'll also be looking at that bench if things go wrong and see if he's coming on at some time.
Well, there's the special reception for the teams as they take the field now, led out by Nigel Spackman for Rangers. And the Celtic fans giving a particular welcome to their favourites. They have grown in popularity, the players, in the last couple of weeks. That last performance for Celtic against St Mirren, then against Manchester United, and heartening the fans. There is the Celtic lineup. They've left out Anton Rogan and Tommy Coyne. The major omission, of course, is the captain Paul McStay, who hasn't recovered from a knee injury. 7 years since Charlie Nicholas played an Old Firm match. He scored half a dozen goals in his career before moving south to Arsenal, but he's desperate to open his scoring account for Celtic this afternoon. And for young Mark McNally, a vital match. It's his third first-team match for Celtic only. A 19-year-old right back. He played for the Scotland under-21 side in Bulgaria 10 days ago, and I'm assured he has an excellent temperament. The aerial view of Celtic Park as the Rangers lineup is confirmed. There it is with Peter Haustra and Ali McCoy on the bench. No Goff, Kuznetsov, lots of players missing for Rangers, but that's still a powerful looking lineup. But the key may well be Nisbet and Brown, the central defensive partnership. Sandy Robertson made his debut for Rangers 18 months ago in a match at Dundee in which Andy Gray played. He's only starting though his third ever Premier Division match in this game this afternoon. And for Mo Johnston, a reception he expects now at Celtic Park. The top goal scorer for Rangers this season, justifying that huge transfer fee, and this of course will be a special occasion once again for him. Well, the referee, reckoned by most good judges in the country to be the best of all in Scotland, Brian McGinley from Balfron. He has universal acclaim from players, officials and supporters alike, and he's the sort of man ideally suited to this occasion. So the referee, Brian McGinley, confirms that the teams will not change around. There is total bedlam all around us as the match is about to start. And it looks as though Celtic will operate a 4-3-3 formation with a front three of Miller, Nicholas and Craney. Rangers going 4-4-2, it would appear, unless Mark Walters is pushed forward on the left. So Johnston and Hateley start the match. Celtic looking for their first win of the season against Rangers. And a very interesting tactical move made by Rangers right at the start of the match. Scott Nisbet has opened up at right back with Gary Stevens at centre-back. Very interesting, Andy.
Yes, it is, after Scott Nisbet having played in the centre of defence in the last couple of games, Jock. It looks as if Graham Souness has decided to take him out the firing ring a little bit and maybe just protect him early on. And of course Gary Stevens has played at centre-back many times before, so it won't be strange for him.
Another alteration, if you've got a team list in front of you, is that Rangers have swapped numbers for Hurlock and Robertson. Terry Hurlock wears 7 and Sandy Robertson is wearing 8. So there's the former Millwall midfield player. He's playing wide on the right in the early stages of the match. So Chris Woods with a kick out. A challenge made by Steve Fulton. And Hurlock coming in very heavily on Fulton. Fulton has taken a knock. Appeared to be caught there on the head as Hurlock came following through. It was not the initial tackle, I don't think, but the collision after it.
Yes, I think it is, Jock. It's the follow-through. As they both go for the ball, I think he just catches him with his trailing arm there. But he's up and he's fit and he's ready to go on, Steve Fulton.
So the kick out from Bonner. Stuart Monroe goes up. So Celtic have the throw. The referee, though, wants to check that Steve Fulton is all right. The referee is now satisfied. So there's young Mark McNally, Celtic Boys Club recruit. As are a number of these Celtic players. In fact, 3 of these Celtic players signed on the same day, on the 15th of May 1987. That's Mark McNally, Steve Fulton and Jerry Craney. So that was a superb piece of business for Celtic. There's Paul Elliott. John Brown going in with a challenge as Peter Grant came through.
It was interesting to hear Murdo MacLeod say about the first touch being vitally important in this game. And invariably in the first 20 minutes it is, Jock, because it's usually the only time you get one touch is in this game, is the first 20 minutes. It's normally the only touch you get.
So the third Old Firm match of the season, 1 each in the league at Ibrox in September, and then that Skull Cup final won by Rangers in extra time. Here's Craney. And the goal kick has been given. Jerry Craney has come to prominence this season. Stuart Monroe has been left out of the side in the last couple of games, back in for Rangers, but he will be desperate to convince Graham Souness he should never have been left out. Gately's header. There's Johnston. Point past that from Robertson, finding Walters on the left. Played in early, looking for Gately. He did well with the header. He was under pressure all the way, but still got up very well to that cross.
Yes, and it's a combination that Rangers will be looking to cash in. Just look at the amount of players that are around Mark Walters, obviously very worried about him. And that's what Mark Gately's best at, coming in over the top of the defenders.
Perhaps a little bit of concern there among the Celtic management about the fact that the challenging player was Darius Dobchek, not Paul Elliott or Lex Bailey. Stevens got a touch. Spackman heads that straight to Nicholas. Get a chance for Peter Grant. Robertson and Spackman sprinting to get to Grant, and he saw that shooting opportunity. So Charlie Nicholas trying to link there with Jerry Craney, and that has turned out to be a very promising partnership up front. 2 matches they played together against St Mirren and Manchester United. The result has been 7 goals. Superb header that from Gately. Got in there ahead of Elliott. Here's Walters. Well taken away by Bailey for Elliott. Here's Spackman. Or Walters again. Joe Miller getting back to help in defence. Here's Gately. Well, that was on his stronger foot, the left. He'll be disappointed with that finish.
It's been a bright start for Mark Walters in particular, and that would have been something Rangers would have wanted him to do, would be test young Mark McNally, and he puts in another good ball, and this is a genuine chance. Just gets underneath it slightly and it's high and wide, but it's a bright opening.
So Walters seeing plenty of the ball in the early stages for Rangers, and that will certainly be to their liking. Clash there as the ball was in mid-air. Joe Miller and Nigel Spackman. Flying arm, I think, catching Spackman. clearly he's all right. He has won the free kick, which John Brown will take. The target once again is Hateley. Bailey gets to that first. There's Nisbet. McNally's header. Again, Bailey goes up well against Hateley. He was fouled in the process. This will be a very interesting contest. Likes Bailey asserting himself again, taking his chance when Paul Elliott was injured. Very powerful in the air indeed. And he has the distinction, of course, having a father who played in Old Firm matches for Rangers at centre-half in the early 60s. And he will certainly be in the press box this afternoon, Doug Bailey. So it breaks off Walters for the throw. The Rangers operating a system which is designed, I think, to ensure that they have a tight grip on the match in midfield. Even without Paul McStay, Celtic are potent in that area with Grant, McStay and Fulton. The ball is swerved out of play. The flag is up on the far side. The whistle is now gone. There's the linesman Ian Cathcart from Bridge of Allen. Good challenge made by Monroe. Miller is very elusive in that position. That's good play from Craney, sidestepping Walters. The cover there provided in the middle by Scott Nisbet, coming in to provide assistance for Gary Stevens. Great opening there from Craney.
Must admit, he's a big fan of Jerry Craney's, Jock. I think he shows tremendous touching and tremendous quality for one so young, and he really has got a tremendous future ahead of him.
So heavy drizzle still falling here at Celtic Park, as Rangers enjoy in the early stages the bulk of the possession. Here's a good move from Hateley, and calmly intercepted by the Polish international Dubček. Careless pass though. Here's Robertson. Johnston calls for the ball. Stumble there from Johnston. Likes Bailey stayed on his feet to take possession. So a clumsy pass there from Bailey, giving the throw. There's Boris Johnston. Opportunism at his best. Rangers are ahead. The Rangers Legion celebrate. And Maurice Johnston, who could so easily have been playing for Celtic, scores for Rangers.
Well, I think Rangers have been threatening this from the off, Jock. They've been very positive in going forward. It's a misheader from Lex Bailey. I'm not quite sure, but what about this for opportunism? That's finishing of the highest quality. Great awareness, and he has a look and sees that Pat Warner's off his line. He knows what's needed, and it's a perfect finish. What a start for Rangers.
Celtic trying to hit back with Craney. Celtic hitting back straight away. They won a corner kick. Oh, what a start to the match. Corner from Joe Miller. Which is in trouble! Right over the line. Lex Bailey claiming that was a goal. The linesman disappoints him. Back in the arms of Chris Woods.
Well, I'd like to see this again, Jock, because Chris Woods gets in all sorts of trouble from the corner. As it comes over, it's right under his crossbar. Tries to push it over, only succeeds in pushing it down. And it bounces at the right side, and I think, oh, he recovers brilliantly, this Chris Woods. But I think Jerry Craney and Charlie Nicholas in there in the box, practically stopping it going in. But what a start we've had to the game. Tremendous stuff.
Well, the linesman Ian Cathcart, a very experienced official. He was a Grade 1 referee until a couple of seasons ago, and he appeared to get that absolutely right.
It was almost a perfect reply, wasn't it, Jock? But he was right on the spot. You could see his position right on the corner flag.
A handy man to have around too. He is a general practitioner, a doctor. So there is the score. The early stages of the match. 8 minutes gone when Boris Johnston popped up with the goal. There's Hurlock. No space at all to turn on possession there. Craney back to Dubček. Here's Fulton. Now Collins. Bailey looking for Craney through the middle, but Brown is underneath that. Good play by Grant. Here's Nicholas. Playing it forward for Craney. Well, that's a great goal from Craney nearly. Oh, wonderful effort from Jerry Craney. That must have been inches over the bar.
Well, Boris Johnston's finish was quite superb, but if this had gone in, then that would have beaten it. I mean, I said this guy shows great awareness, he shows great skill for one so young, but look at that for cheek. And really, Chris Woods was struggling to get back there.
Well, a mark of real genius from young Jerry Craney. It looked as though Chris Woods was going to have to pick that out of the net. There's McNally. Nicholas, good header down. Craney to Fulton. Dubček is going on the outside. Good play by Hurlock. This is Bailey. Now Fulton. Collins to Dubček. Well, that's well won by Sandy Robertson. Elliott taking no chances. Bailey trying to release Nicholas on the left. Here's Walters and Johnston. It's back with Sandy Robertson and now Monroe. The tackle came from Elliott. That's fine play by Grant. Craney to Miller. Well, Celtic has certainly been stung by that goal. Here's Charlie Nicholas. Superb goalkeeping.
Well, this is the answer that Billy McNeill wanted after that goal. Celtic have really gone for Rangers, trying to get an equaliser. And this is good goalkeeping again, very brave goalkeeping. And Charlie Nicholas has just reached the pass back, and he's almost in on top of it, but the goalkeeper's very, very brave here, just blocks it.
There's Dubček. The offside flag is up against Nicholas. Well, Nicholas certainly looks very much in the mood alongside Craney up front, and Celtic have really come to life since they lost that goal.
Yes, they have. It was Rangers threatened. They started very well, had a good 5 or 6 minutes opening spell, Jock, and got the goal. And it looks to have, instead of inspiring Rangers to go forward and bigger and better things, it has inspired Celtic to take the game at Rangers. And I always feel this is Celtic's game. I always like to see a Celtic side do this. They're better at attacking, they're better at going at teams, and this is them at their best when they flow like this.
Now Nicholas picking up that clearance from Stevens. Now Grant. Excellent pass. Miller was well tackled. There goes McNally. Miller trying to send over the cross. He's earned the corner kick though. So Nigel Spackman indicating to the linesman he wasn't entirely in agreement with that. You see Mo Johnston there going back to defend. Every Rangers player inside the penalty box. Elliott and Bailey pose threats for Celtic. Here's Walters all on his own for the moment. Trying to go past Peter Grant. That'll be a free kick, all right. Well, Peter Grant starting the match, he is renowned for his physical power in the middle of the field, but he's shown some excellent touches too.
He's shown some great skill, but I don't think he's got a case there. I think a free kick, the right result for that from the referee there. But Peter Grant has showed some tremendous touches because he's a hard man. You're quite right there. He does like the physical side of the game, but he's not without quality.
Well, he has earned international recognition for those qualities. Here's Sandy Robertson. Good first touch on the ball. Well, just look at the composure of this young man in his first Old Firm match, looking for the return pass. It's a great ball inside. There's Dubček. And And Elliott with the clearance. Scott Nisbet. Well, Graham Souness assured me a couple of weeks ago that there was no question mark about Sandy Robertson's temperament.
I think that little piece of soccer from him just there showed how the confidence he's got. And not only that, he's got the temperament to deal with this game. Tremendous that was. And had he got a better return pass from Mark Hateley, would have been right through.
Here's John Collins. Misunderstanding there with McNally. What was significant early in the match was the way in which Hurlock, Spackman and Robertson played in an area which hardly allowed Collins a touch on the ball in the opening 10 minutes or so. It was a good challenge by Bailey. Came off the referee for Hurlock. And no advantage gained by Rangers from that.
I think what's noticeable, what Celtic will have to do, Jock, to get back in the game, it's noticeable what Steve Fulton and Terry Hurlock are more or less sacrificing the left side. They've been very, very narrow, and only occasionally is Fulton coming wide. And it will allow Darius Dovcek on the ball now to get down this left side, and it's important that he plays a big part for Celtic going forward.
Oh, brilliant play there from Nicholas, a clear foul by Stevens.
Yes, people say his legs may have gone a little bit, but the skill's still there, isn't it? He can turn on his sixpence, and when you've got that ability, you never lose that.
Here's Collins. Well tackled by Robertson. Another facet of his game showing up. Here's Joe Miller, away from Spackman. Taking on Brown and Monroe. Monroe did well for Rangers with his tackle. And Rangers have the throw. Well, Rangers clearly fired by the prospect of going to the top of the Premier Division for the first time this season. They would go ahead of Aberdeen on goal difference if they were to win the match this afternoon. Good play again from Craney. Joe Miller is onside, and he's earned a corner kick. Well, Celtic will never be out of this, Andy, with Craney and Nicholas in this kind of form.
Yes, both front men for them have opened up with tremendous confidence, and that'll be pleasing Billy McNeil, even though his side are one down. His front men look so lively.
Fulton's corner kick. Stevens is not challenged there. Good header down by McNally. Fulton not quite so confident on his right foot making the cross. The linesman gives the throw to Celtic. Steve Holding crossing over to the left again. Craney well stopped by Monroe. Stuart Monroe, one of the unsung Rangers players, but certainly has good defensive qualities. Header down by Craney, finds Nicholas, he's looking for a shooting chance. Back from Craney. Craney again. Oh, what a promising partnership this is proving to be.
Well, that was quite superb football from both front men, wasn't it? They're linked magnificently with the long ball. It was knocked down, and this little 1-2 here, very, very close. And this is the type of football that these two will enjoy playing. Jerry Craney very unlucky there, but they're causing the Rangers defence some problems at the moment.
There's Walters. It was superbly timed by young McNally. Now Robertson. And there's John Brown trying to get that beyond Elliott. A high challenge there by Spackman. Well, Spackman complaining that he was intent on playing the ball, which he certainly did. But Brian McGinley, a FIFA official, following a UEFA rule about boots being raised too high. There's Nigel Spackman's history, and the only goal he's scored so far for Rangers was against Celtic, an Old Firm match at the beginning of the year. Stevens with a header, plenty of time here for Dubček. So 20 minutes of the first half gone. The game's settling just a little now, Andy.
Yes, it is, and it is Celtic that are in the ascendancy at the moment, even though they're one down. They're knocking good balls into the front men. If you're a front man, it's all your level of performance sometimes depends, Jock, on the type of service you get. And certainly people like Charlie Nicholas and Jerry Craney, who thrive in the ball into their feet, have been getting the right type of service. But Rangers have got the goal, and they'll be very determined not to let one go.
Elliott's header picked up by his former clubmate in Aston Villa, Mark Walters. Johnston has found space. Good piece of work done there by Joe Miller, coming back to help in defence. Down goes Sandy Robertson. Well, the Celtic players thought that it was a collision with Stuart Monroe which put the youngster down.
Yeah, we just see there's 3 or 4 bodies, and I think it is Stuart Monroe. I think the referee fooled in that department there as well.
So Haitley the threat in the air, but a variety offered by Spikeman, finding Nisbet. Good challenge by Elliott, showing a lot of strength there as Haitley tried to hold him off. This is Dobchek. Inside is Nicholas, met by Brown. Fulton takes over from Collins, promising again for Celtic. A superb move, and Craney has the shot deflected wide for the corner.
Well, I said there was space for Darius Dobchek to get forward on the left, and this is what he's got to do. He'll have that space more often than not, and it is a superb ball, but great defending from Stuart Monroe. Saved a certain goal there.
There's the corner kick from Miller. Trouble again at the near post. There's Fulton. Walter appeared to barge into Fulton. And if he waves play on, he thinks that Walter's dive, although it appears that Dobchek caught him. The flag is up on the far side against Craney and Elliott, I think. Well, referee McGinley making up his mind very clearly about these challenges.
Yeah, I'd like to see it. Just nicks the ball away and the leg comes up. I think it's a bit of a dive from Mark. I think he probably did get caught, but he just made the most of it. Probably trying to ease the pressure that they were under by trying to get a free kick. Good refereeing from Brian McGinley. The players respect him. I think it's always very difficult and hard for referees to gain respect, but if there's one man that has gained players' respect through the years, it's that man there.
Had to withdraw from the World Cup in Mexico for personal reasons, which was unfortunate really, because he has got tremendous qualities which are valued not only in Scotland but abroad. Forced forward there by Walters. There's Elliott. Collins playing it across, a misunderstanding between Fulton and Dobchek. Dobchek sent spinning there by Harlock. The referee saw that, but Celtic are in possession. Here's Collins. Good challenge by Stevens there on Craney. Nisbet, I'm sure, will use Chris Woods in goal. Rangers having the advantage, if you've just tuned in, of an opening goal scored in 8 minutes by Maurice Johnston. There's the goal scorer. McNally's header. So Rangers have a throw, and the referee is now going to have a word with Terry Harlock. Well, this is a mark of the quality of the refereeing. Keen to keep the game flowing, but he remembered that challenge by Harlock, which was a little bit reckless. So he's had a word with him. Celebrated his 32nd birthday recently. There's Monroe. Kept in play by Johnston. Spikeman to Monroe. Well, that's good play from Rangers. There's Stevens. Stopped there by Dobchek. Down goes Collins, and the referee has had enough. First booking of the match will be administered to Sandy Robertson.
I think the first booking has always been on the way, Jock. There's been a couple of tackles, and little Sandy Robertson, perhaps a bit unfortunate as him, it's basically his first tackle of the game. But I think what good referees do, they take so much, they make an example of someone. I think it's unfortunate for Sandy Robertson that he's the one to be made an example of, and everyone else hopefully settles down and says, okay, he's going to book someone from now on, let's get on with the game. But it has been a great start, Jock, and anyone who says that there's no quality in Scottish football, I think we've seen already early on in this game that they've shown the players out there, although the game's played at such a tremendous pace, the quality is there for all to see. and players should take great credit from that.
And some very young players on view as well. Well, the criticism has been that you can't afford to risk youngsters. That's been given the lie this afternoon. Here's Walters. And very good work at the back there by Dubček, who crossed right over to the far side. While that booking was being given to Sandy Robertson, a very lengthy discussion took place between Paul Elliott and Pat Bonner, trying to sort out defensive tactics, I think. So a free kick given against John Brown. Charlie Nicholas was the victim. Elliott makes his way forward. Lex Bailey is already there. Collins flights it in. Just too high for Elliott. Well, he scored in the Skoll Cup final for Celtic. A fine header from about boot height.
It's funny free kick shot. We always feel though with somebody like Paul Elliott, you expect Rangers players to really be concentrating and marking him. And if I was Billy McNeil, I would tend to try and have one or two other free kicks in my locker, just to surprise you. Not aim for Paul Elliott, but maybe go for someone else. Maybe a little ball into somebody like Nicholas or Crane's feet, just to mix him up a little bit.
Well, there's a timely reminder of Mark Hateley that he don't have things all his own way this afternoon. A very aggressive defensive header there from Elliott as Bailey goes over to do some sterling work on the far side. Well, having to settle after that unfortunate moment when his miscued header set up Maurice Johnston. There's Monroe. Here's Hateley. Walters. Comes off McNally for the corner kick. So Rangers this time having the chance to bring forward defenders in the form of Scott Nisbet there, number 4, and John Brown has also arrived. Gary Stevens and Stuart Monroe left behind. Headed away by Bailey. Here's Robertson. There's no offside as Elliott turns the ball back. That was a fine defensive header by Elliott. He knew exactly what he was doing. Dubček looking for Nicholas. Scott Nisbet making his way back to his defensive beat at right back. Gives the ball to Chris Woods. Dubček's header. Well taken down by Nisbet. Charlie Nicholas thought he would head the ball clear.
I do think we're lucky today, Jock, and in games like this you always want creative players to be on song, you know, to really want the ball, and so far it looks like people like Jerry Craney, Charlie Nicholas, John Collins, Mark Walters and little Sandy Robertson, who are all tremendously creative players, all look on song.
Hateley is offside. A very close decision that, but the linesman's flag there was up. Douglas Prentice, the son of a former Scotland manager, on the line on the near side. There's Hurlock and Hateley. Walters in space over on the far side. McNally goes to face him. And the youngster doing well, staying on his feet, keeping his eye on the ball. There's Johnston. Monroe playing it in early. Comfortably taken by Bonner. John Brown had to get to that because Craney was looking for an error. Nicholas back to Miller. The ball slipping out of his hands. It certainly is Very difficult out there for the players. It's a tribute to their control and skill that we've seen so much good play on a very greasy surface. The rain has been falling steadily from the start of the match, but has not dampened the quality of the play. Here's Miller. He's away from Monroe this time. Great play from Miller. And turned behind there by Sandy Robertson. Very important interception, but great play from Miller.
It's brilliant play from Joe Miller, but what he'll be disappointed with is his last ball, because he gets in a great position, and if he just looks up, Peter Grant actually is about 12 yards from goal. In a superb position, and he was absolutely furious with Joe Miller for not looking up and just rolling into his path. But it was a great run and will give Joe Miller tremendous confidence.
So the corner kick goes to waste for Celtic with Elliott's header over the top. Well, we've talked a lot about the creative players, but there's been some very good defending too, Andy. Neither goalkeeper has been seriously troubled. Score tells the story of the match so far. Maurice Johnston, the scorer. There's Hurlock. And Grant flashing there with Sandy Robertson in midfield. Well, the youngster on thin ice, as he has already been booked. Nicholas was adjudged offside.
Yeah, we may not have seen many goalmouth incidents, Jock. You are right in that respect, but the build-up play from both sides at times has been quite superb and a delight to watch.
McNally's header helped on there by Miller. Here's Nicholas. Trainee trying to find Fulton, didn't get quite enough on the pass, allowing Hurlock to come back and intercept. Dobchek's header. Stevens doing well against Nicholas. Robertson was hurried into that error by John Collins. Played across now by Elliott to McNally. Walters comes across.
I think we have seen some great football, Jock. What I always pay tribute to is the way that both teams are closing down each other and really working tremendously hard off the ball. Sometimes that is work that goes unpraised at times, but both teams are doing that tremendously well, and are both really playing some tremendous football.
So Rangers may now be thinking in terms of getting to half-time in front. It'll be very important to go in that state, but Billy McNeil there in the Celtic dugout will be desperate to get back in terms before the interval. Certainly can't have many complaints about the performance of his team so far, but the difference really so far only the amazing scoring ability of this man, Maurice Johnston. Bailey's header. Trini did well, so did Nicholas. Well, they appear to control the ball and then take the tackle from Stevens. That's not how the referee saw it. Elliott doing well in the air again, but Walters getting a number of balls headed to him in that area. Good calm defending there by Bailey. And a clumsy challenge by Grant on Robertson. Sandy Robertson, like Lex Bailey, the son of a former top-class professional. His father, Malcolm Robertson, played for Raith Rovers, Ayr United and Hearts. So he's been brought up in the real football tradition. Brown's free kick, Haitley got to that. Celtic had plenty of cover though in the box this time. So 10 minutes left in the first half, 1-0 to Rangers. But Celtic very much in this match. Here's Collins. Setting up Fulton, breaking on the left. Well, he was trying to play that deliberately into the near post area, but there was no runner going there. Steve Fulton will be disappointed with that. Trainee to Collins. Comes out of that tight corner brilliantly. Turned away by Nisbet from Dubček. Headed away from Stevens. Celtic keeping the momentum going now. There's Dubček. John Brown wins the cross. Here's Miller. And Mark Walters comes back to help in defence. Well, Celtic really are very tricky indeed up front with Joe Miller joining Charlie Nicholas and Jerry Craney. So it means that high balls into the box really don't have much value unless Paul Elliott or Lex Bailey can come up for a set piece. Fulton's corner. Haythey getting up to that. Once again, Rangers pulling everyone back inside the penalty area. Celtic trying to come again. Here's John Collins. Now Craney, back with Grant. Miller is crossed to the left. Celtic probing for the opening. Here's Collins. Playing that against Harlock. And Joe Miller was quite happy to accept the corner kick, but no thought there of playing a high, hopeful ball in.
No, it's good thoughtful play, and they're keeping good sustained pressure on at the moment.
It was good defending by Walters. He judged that move from Dubček brilliantly. Well, not quite so comfortable with the clearance though.
No, I think that's a measure of the pressure they're under at the moment, and that a player like the quality of Mark Walters just smashes it out of touch shot.
McNally looking there for Elliott. Here's Nicholas on the turn. Trying to take on John Brown. Trying to nutmeg him with the ball through his legs. But Brown was alive to that. And Bailey tidies up at the back for Celtic. So here's Dubček. Joe Miller doing some wandering up front now, leaving his right wing beat. Well, tremendous build-up to the end of the first half, Andy, with Celtic determined to get a goal before half-time.
Yes, it looks like they set their stall to go for Rangers and try and get the boost of the goal before half-time. It seems that Rangers have said to themselves, well, we're one up, we're away from home, let's get to half-time and regroup. It is a fascinating 10 minutes in store here.
Chris Wood's taking plenty of time about the kick-outs. The Celtic players appear to be picking up most of the loose balls at this stage in the match. And they have possession again with a throw, and you can see how quickly Mark McNally wants to get on with things. Back with Grant. Appear to be fouled from the rear by Johnston. Here's Lex Bailey. Dubček demands the ball on the left. Here's Fulton. Harlock trying to get back. And Nisbet comes in very late indeed. A very badly timed challenge there by Nisbet. The referee is content to give the free kick and take no further action.
Yes, you can see there, young Steve Fulton does ever so well down and just gets taken out of the game. Scott Nisbet looking at a young Sandy Robinson book. It looks as if Scott Nisbet's fortunate that he doesn't join him in the book for that tackle.
All the big men are up. Celtic determined to equalise before half-time. Here's John Collins. There goes Elliott! Paul Elliott does it again for Celtic! And these Celtic fans celebrate. They love Paul Elliott dearly, and that's one of the reasons why. His fourth goal of the season, all of them from headers, and it's his second against Rangers.
Well, you have to say this was deserved, this. But it's a super header from Paul Elliott, who's brilliant in the air. That's a great climb. And into the roof of the net it goes. It's just a boost that Celtic wanted. And we really have got a game now. If you watch him climb, he gets up really high. Great header down into the ground. Chris Woods has got no chance.
So Rangers trying to hit back, but that goal really won which Celtic could not be grudged. on the balance of the play in the last 15 minutes or so.
Yes, and it always shows you that if you do concede parts of the field in there, Jock, and protect what you've got, that you can't pay for that.
Well, the noise you hear now coming from the Celtic supporters. Thousands of right below us here, and suddenly the game was taken on a new complexion. Here's Fulton. This is for Dubček. Good defending by Harlock. And referee McGinley coming across to have a calming word with Dariusz Dubček. Well, the Polish international certainly gets himself involved in matches of this kind. He seems to have learned to understand very quickly the special attraction of these derby matches here in Glasgow. Elliott wins that from Haitley. Spackman lofts it forward. Elliott's confidence is high with that headed pass back. Such an influential figure in the heart of the Celtic defence, and also now when he gets the chance to go forward.
And it amazes me the season he's had, Jock, Paul Elliott, that the England manager has not taken a trip up to see him. He really has been performing magnificently.
Brown's header. And the free kick goes to Rangers. Yes, and all Paul Elliott's 4 goals for Celtic have been seen on the Sports Channel. 2 headers against Ayr United, 1 in the Skull Cup final, and now a vital one this afternoon to put Celtic back on level terms. There's Trainey's head flick on, but he was guilty of a bit of pushing on Stevens. So 3 minutes of this incredible first half left.
I think we'll all need a rest, Jock. It's been quite pulsating, it really has.
Miller to Grant. Here's John Collins. Elliott sending it back. Here's Dubček. Oh, that's good play by Nicholas. Craney now for Grant. Well, the second dummy not effective because the ball didn't have quite enough pace on it. No free kick there as Collins challenges Walters. There's Mark Haitley. And Chris Woods had to leave his area for that. Elliott sends it back. Here's Collins. So influential now for Celtic in midfield. Look at the way he goes past players. Outstanding play here from Collins. Now Fulton. Playing it in low. Back for Collins. Fulton. Craney helps it on. Well, John Collins had a very quiet opening 10 minutes when Rangers were on the ascendancy, but what an influence he's now having, Andy.
Yes, and that's why I said at the beginning of the game, Jock, why the absence of Paul McStay is not such a big blow. When you have a young man like that with that ability, you can see you can afford to lose good quality players there. But what's fascinating now is which way will this game turn, Jock? I'm sure that Billy McNeil doesn't want half-time to come. There's sometimes nothing worse for a team who's on the up and who's going well than for half-time coming to break that up. And it may be that's what Rangers will want, to regroup, get themselves together. And it's fascinating to see which way it's going to turn in the second half.
So the closing moments now of the first half. Celtic trying to come forward again, not content with an equaliser, looking now to go in front. Here's Steve Fulton. Celtic getting men forward into the penalty area. Here's Nicholas. They'll want to take on Nisbet, look for a rash tackle. And that was a very good tackle by Gary Stevens in the end. Up goes Bailey, a header enough power to get through there to Dubček. Break of the ball falls there for Fulton. Here's Dubček. Here's Charlie Nicholas, bundled from the rear by Brown. Well, it's been breathtaking stuff throughout this first half. Rangers taking the early initiative and getting a goal from Maurice Johnston, but then Celtic hitting them with everything in their attempt to get back into the match. So there's Graham Souness looking on calmly, it would appear, as the half-time whistle goes. Tremendous action here at Celtic Park. It was Maurice Johnston who got the opening goal in 8 minutes, and the man beside him there, Paul Elliott, coming up with the equaliser just before half-time. There's a tremendous second half to come right after the break, but right now it's Celtic 1, Rangers 1.
Welcome back to Parkhead. 1-1 it is here, and I think, Murdo McLeod, that's a fair reflection of what we've seen.
Yeah, it's a good scoreline, but a great game. Great advert, great advert for Scottish football. Unbelievable football play today, superb.
And we were right, weren't we? First touch inside that first 20 minutes.
Yeah,
inside that first 20 minutes.
The conditions aren't the best conditions in the world, with the wind, the rain. The players have showed tremendous skill today, tremendous.
Yes, which is to their credit. Rangers a dream start, in front in the 8th minute, and that's why Mo Johnston is worth £1 million. You won't see many better goals all season.
It's one of the best goals you'll see. He knew where Packy Bona was all the time. Just kept his eye on the ball, put it over Packy's head and empty net.
Now, almost immediately afterwards, Chris Wood's in trouble.
Yeah, the ball's came right under his crossbar. He's tried to put it off over the bar, came back down, but he's done well to get back in here and block it again. Probably it's hit the other Celtic player, Jerry Craney, in the line there. But the Rangers players have battled away well just to keep it out the net.
The youngsters have impressed me, Robertson and Craney here of Celtic.
Look at his skill. Look, without even looking, he just flicked it up. He knew the goalkeeper was going to be off the line. Very unlucky.
He wouldn't have got back, would he? Relentless pressure from Celtic, finally paid in the 39th minute.
Yeah, Celtic were pushing everything forward here, and Paul Elliott, he's won every ball in there today, and then he stuck one in the net.
What a good header.
Yeah, a good goal.
Popular character here, isn't he?
Yeah, the crowd love him. He's done very well. He's scored in the cup final as well. Looking very good. He's one of the heroes here now.
It's not a game for faint hearts, as we said at the start. That's why I think the youngsters take particular credit. Craney and Sandy Robertson have looked very accomplished players.
Yeah, they're taking time, they're standing on the ball, they're making passes, they're not overawed by the situation. 53,000 here, games played at a hectic pace. The two of them look very good.
Yeah, Charlie and Craney particularly has been encouraging from Celtic's point of view. He's had 10 weeks out, Charlie Nicholas.
Yeah.
This is his third game in a week.
Yeah.
He doesn't look as though he's missed anything.
Yeah, Charlie's tremendous today. His first touch, skill on the ball, he's dribbled, he's went by players as if they've not been there. To me today, Charlie Nichols of 8 years ago.
I know in Scotland they were saying he was finished during that time away, but he's not, is he? He's got great feet.
Yeah, he's back to the club he loves now. The supporters, they love him. Every week now, he'll turn it on in front of these people.
Rangers were happy, we felt, at 1-0.
Yeah.
Will they settle for 1-1? How will the second half unfold?
I think Rangers will try and go out and start the second half the way they did the first half. A great opening. Walters was in, getting early crosses. I think they'll need to go back to that. Give Mark Walters the ball early, get the ball into Haitley, and maybe knock down to Maurice Johnson and hopefully get another goal. Because if they sit back at 1 each, Celtic will score again.
I understand what Andy Gray meant about Billy McNeil not wanting half-time to come. They were on such a run. Collins had found a real groove down his right side too, hadn't he?
Yeah, it's Johnny Collins, the last 15-20 minutes there, come into the game, he started dominating the game. Andy brought up the point about Paul McStay not playing, but he was right. John Collins has taken over from Paul McStay, and he started to run the game from midfield now.
It's not going to stay at 1-1, is it?
No, there'll be more goals, a lot more goals.
That's the way it is at the moment here at Celtic Park. 1-1, we'll be back after these. Stay with us. Welcome back. 1-1. Reminder the score here, Celtic and Rangers. Mo Johnston after 8 minutes for Rangers. Paul Elliott replying almost on half-time. A whole host of opinions outside on the terraces, I'm sure, during the half-time interval. What a stadium, Murdo McLeod.
Yes, everybody's knocking it a wee bit, saying we've got to build, or Celtic's got to build a new stadium here, or move elsewhere to get all-seater stadium. I think it's one of the best stadiums to get a good football atmosphere.
Fabulous atmosphere in that first half, and it's a wet, miserable day in many ways, but again, having said that, perfect footballing conditions.
Yeah, the players will enjoy this condition today. It's good football conditions, knock the ball about to feet. And now that's the team's coming back out.
Rich in promise, as we said, this second half. It's been a cracking 45 minutes. Let's go back to the commentary box and rejoin Andy Gray and Jock Brown.
Thank you, Richard. Yes, just checking very rapidly among these Celtic players to see if any change has been made. They have Anton Rogan and Tommy Coyne in reserve, but they've kept them all on the bench. The same 11 will start the second half as finished the first. But for Rangers, there is a very significant change. It's Ali McCoy who's been introduced. He's come into the side, and it looks as though Maurice Johnston is the player missing. Now, he has been struggling just a little with a strain. He came out with those cycling shorts on, and he's been left inside. But what a fine replacement, Andy.
Well, it can't be bad when you lose your top goal scorer in someone like Maurice Johnson, and then you have that man there, the man who scored many goals against Celtic, sitting on the bench waiting to come on. I mean, it really must make Billy McNeil, who's sitting there thinking, what have we got to do? We're due a break in this game.
So, a crucial 45 minutes to come. Celtic ready to start, and it's back with Dubček straight away. Andy Gray was mentioning that the half-time interval came at the wrong time really for Celtic when they were doing so well. It will be interesting to see if they can pick things up where they left off. There's Grant to Craney. Good play from Craney. Beaten away by Woods as Nicholas came in. And Celtic giving a very early answer to that question. There's Collins. John Collins appears to find gaps when there really are none. So Celtic getting off to a brisk start. So Ali McCoist on, replacing Maurice Johnston.
Another change already, I can see, Jock, and the fact that I did mention that Rangers had some trouble on Celtic's left in the first half. There seemed to be a big hole, and it looks like they've put Mark Walters to play wide right this half to block that hole off, and I think that's a very important move for them. And it's Mark Walters was the one for 10 minutes. It looked like he was going to torment Celtic today, and really hasn't had much of the ball since then. And you do feel Rangers must get the ball to him to get back in the game. But Celtic have answered the question. They aim to carry on where they left off at the end of the first half, Jock.
Here's Joe Miller. It's been a very interesting contest between Miller and Monroe. Here's Spackman. The interception made by Collins. Here's Nicholas. Still Charlie Nicholas. And off the inside of the post. Charlie Nicholas wonders just what he has to do to score for Celtic.
Well, the roof nearly came off Celtic Park there. But what a tremendous skill again from Nicholas. People talk about, has he got it? Look at that. And what a finish. It's a superb strike. Beats Chris Wood's all end up. But Rangers get the luck of the day there. It just goes away. Watch this again. He's not got much to aim at, has he? But he finds it. And he's very unlucky.
It appeared almost impossible for that to hit the inside of the post and go out for a goal kick on the far side without going into the net. Well, Celtic can either be saddened by that or lifted. It looks as though they've been lifted. Oh, that's great play again. Joe Miller. That's a corner kick, I think. Yes, the linesman's given it. Well, Celtic in this kind of mood look to be irresistible.
Yes, and Murdo McCrowd was quite right. If Rangers sit back and try and accept the draw, they could well pay for it. And you do feel Celtic will score another. Rangers have got to try and get in the game in an attacking force themselves.
So Elliott, the scorer of the Celtic goal, looking for another. The marker is John Brown. Variety there shown by Celtic. Mark McNally sends it over. There's Elliott going up. Well, Elliott can expect to be even more closely marked for set pieces now after scoring that fine header in the first half.
It's really Celtic's movement when they've got the ball. Players like Nicholas and Craney and Joe Miller and John Collins, when they've passed the ball, Jock, it's that they're not standing, they're making another angle almost immediately. And they're giving the player on the ball so many options at the moment that Rangers are finding it difficult to cope with that.
Here's Walters. McCoist is free on the right. The offside flag is up. It's Ali McCoist who was caught. The referee looking across to the linesman. He's given a free kick, I think, to Rangers, and he is not prepared to allow that offside flag to deflect him from that decision.
I think he just made up his mind, Brian McGinley, that the free kick came first before the offside decision there, Jock.
So Pat Bonner organising the wall, and this time it's Celtic's turn to bring everyone back to defend. Mark Walters, Sandy Robertson and Nigel Spackman are there. Well, Sandy Robertson clearly fancied his chances from that long range. What a prospect he is for the future. So Celtic 1, Rangers 1. Johnston for Rangers in 8 minutes. Elliott for Celtic just before half-time. And Celtic at the moment appear to have the edge. Gary Stevens rather underneath that. Stevens trying to send Walters clear on the right. Well, he has been the most potent threat for Rangers throughout the match, Mark Walters, with his elusive running and dribbling. £500,000 well spent from Aston Villa. And down goes Walters. There's going to be told a dub check. Well, that is dub check going in late on Mark Walters, and he's going to be in trouble for this.
Yeah, he's very late, Darius Dovcek. Very, very late there. I don't think he can have any complaints about Ryan McGinley taking this action.
Oh, Darius Dovcek, who was ordered off in the first league match of the season at Fair Park, Motherwell, now being shown the yellow card. £400,000 of the transfer from Legia Warsaw. Walters appears to have recovered. Hateley trying to make space in the penalty area. Nisbet is also up. There's Spackman. Headed to safety by Elliott, insisting on more determination and diligence. But an offside flag was up. It's going to be a free kick to Celtic.
But that little spell is what Rangers need to do if they're going to get back in the game, because you're right, Celtic do have the edge at the moment, Jock, but that little spell, a little couple of minutes of pressure against the Celtic defence will have boosted the confidence of the Rangers players.
Nicholas backing in there, making life difficult for Brown. Here's Walters, firmly tackled by Grant. Here's Joe Miller. Nicholas trying to use McNally on the right. Collins tackling Hurlock. The former Millwall man recovers quickly. And the long pass from Scott Nisbet goes all the way through to Bonner. McCoy's got a very delicate touch there. There's Dubček. And Nicholas measuring the pass for Fulton. Well, that's a very well-timed tackle by Nisbet. Hateley is yards offside. Well, Hateley was very dangerous early in the match for Rangers, but he's had a lean time of it since. There's Collins looking for Fulton, who was caught there by Hurlock. The referee waves play on as Fulton lies on the floor. The Celtic bench incensed by that as McCoy didn't clear, a chance for Rangers. Here's McCoy, they must score. Rangers take the lead. McCoy gets his 12th goal of the season. And Celtic feeling very aggrieved about the fact that Mark Fulton is still on the ground inside the Rangers half.
Well, this is a tremendous blow for Celtic. There's no question of him being offside here, but what composure he shows. They've lost their top goal scorer. He makes Pat Bonner go on his backside and he just rolls it into the empty net. That's a tremendous piece of finishing, and it must be a real blow for Celtic. But just look at the way he makes Pat Bonner go down, walks it round him and slots it into the net. Tremendous goal from a quality player. But Celtic are incensed. It was a very difficult decision for the referee to call that one. Steve Fulton and Terry Hurlock both, I think, did go for the ball in that tackle. And in this type of game, Jock, every challenge like that is always questioned by the fans, and there's always uproar, and it makes the referee's decisions twice as difficult. He took the decision to play on, and Celtic just weren't concentrating. For a moment, concentration lapsed, and Ali McCoist has made them suffer.
Steve Fulton's protests have been too vehement after he recovered. So he's in trouble. A yellow card for young Steve Fulton. So here's how that happened. Well, there appeared to be genuine contact, Andy.
Yes, I think there was genuine contact, Jock, but I think both genuinely went for the ball.
So Celtic have to do it all over again, having fought their way back after the early setback in the first half. They now have to battle again for any return for their efforts. Here's Monroe. Off goes McCoist. And Bonner comes out to settle any arguments between McCoist and Bailey. Well, Ali McCoist would be very displeased about not being in the starting lineup, and he's provided a perfect answer for that goal for Rangers.
Yes, ever since he came back to Rangers many years ago, he's been a constant thorn in Celtic's flesh, hasn't he, Jock? And once again he proves to be.
Tough tackling there. Grant trying to release Collins. This Spackman. There are just odd signs here that Celtic may have lost their composure, feeling a great sense of injustice about that goal. Good tackle by Bailey on Hateley.
Yes, and that's one thing they can't afford to do, Jock. They've actually played tremendously well up to now, Celtic, so they must get on with it, accept the decision, get on with the game and get back in it. If they lose their composure a little bit, I think Rangers are just about to make a substitution. Peter Houstra coming on for John Brown, I do believe.
Well, John Brown went across to the touchline as that goal was scored, complaining, I think, that he was struggling in some respects. He's had to leave the field now, and Peter Houstra comes on. So this will mean some reorganisation of the Rangers ranks. Rangers have now committed both substitutes. Peter Houstra, a £300,000 signing from FC 20 in Sheda in Holland in the close season. Walters with the corner. And Walters was caught offside when that return ball came from Harlock. The Celtic players still not at all happy with the referee, nor are the Celtic supporters. And I must say, Andy, I reckon that Celtic have a little point there. I felt that Harlock was late on Fulton. It would have made a big difference.
And that's the beauty of this game, Jock. It's all about opinions, isn't it? And we're not right all the time, all of us.
Here's Hateley, screening the ball from Bailey. Houstra's first touch. Hateley setting it up for Sandy Robertson. Well, he was pressurised instantly by Steve Fulton. But Rangers appear now to have regained their grip in the match. Yeah, it's no doubt the goal has given them a tremendous boost, Jock. They do seem to have regained the composure, the belief that they can go and get another goal. It was quite amazing that they conceded so much ground in the first half, partly because of that, partly because Celtic forced them back, really. But they've got back in the game. That's a blow that they've lost John Brown, who's a natural defender, but Nigel Spackman has just slotted into his position and playing as a double centre-half alongside Gary Stevens. Well, there's Harlock in trouble for that challenge. The Celtic players incensed about that. John Collins was the victim of the challenge from Harlock. Well, a very rash one indeed, bearing in mind his involvement in the earlier incident with Fulton.
Yes, it is a bit rash, but I mean, I think after his tackle, for his next tackle, he's always going to get booked. And with his experience.
So Terry Harlock, the latest player of the match to be booked. There are now 4 bookings in all, and Celtic have a free kick. Dubček flighting it in, looking for Elliott. That's an easy one though for Woods. Paul Elliott was not at all pleased with that free kick from Dubček. So Rangers now with a brand new central defensive pairing of Stevens and Spackman. They've withdrawn McCoist into the left side of midfield. Robertson is on the right, Harlock in the middle, and a front three now: Walters on the right, Hateley in the middle, and Houstra on the left. Celtic fans really have taken a substantial dislike to Harlock. Here's Walters, tempting and teasing Elliott, quite deliberately headed over by Dubček. Very sensible defending, not heading the ball back out to the edge of the box where Rangers players were queued up.
Yeah, we really have got a game, haven't we, Jock, on our hands here. The other question now is, can Celtic turn that again in their favour? it has ebbed and flowed magnificently. Questions have been asked from both teams. Up to now, they've all been answered. And the next question is, can Celtic get back in it?
And the referee wants the corner kick to be taken on the other side of the field. Mark Walters was going to take that on the Rangers' left. Peter Halstra will take it on the left. On the right, rather, for Rangers. And Nisbet get up there. That would concern the Celtic defence, the way the young Rangers defender reached that. So 1 hour of the match gone. Rangers leading by 2 goals to 1. Celtic certainly not out of things. There's Hurlock. Halstra. Good play by the Dutchman. Taken in the chest there by Haitley. He was caught by Elliott. No complaint from the Celtic centre-half.
And nice to see as well, Joe, even in the heat of the battle like that, people who are physically against each other, these two can still pick themselves up and shake each other by the hand.
Walters will take the free kick. Rangers not sending too many men forward. That's well won by Bailey. In goes Grant. It's back with Hurlock. There was a deflection off Collins. So Rangers have a corner kick. The Rangers certainly have done extremely well in the second half. They had an early onslaught from Celtic in the opening 5 minutes, but since then they've taken a grip again. And of course they've been boosted by that goal from McCoist. Nisbet waiting for the corner. Headed away by McNally. There's Joe Miller. And the referee says that's a Celtic throw. This is Grant. Now Collins. And he's taken out again by Walters. Well, Collins really is getting some very tough treatment. It's a measure of the respect with which he's held clearly by Rangers. Well, it's getting a bit nasty now, that challenge by Dubček and Hurlock penalised. But referee Brian McGinley now being tested to the full.
Yes, it's got a little bit niggly the last 5 minutes, so both players are going in late, trying to catch each other. I think we should get back to playing the game again. But what you must compliment Rangers on, I think, second half, John, what they've done and what's turned the game, is they've stopped the service to Craney and Nicholas. They have not enjoyed the same type of service they were enjoying in the first half. And you must pay great credit to Rangers midfield in particular, who have stopped that flow, the supply flow, if you like, to the front two.
Well, the referee says that was a push by Walters on Dubček, so it's a free kick to Celtic. And Celtic are going to make an alteration. They're making 2 alterations. Joe Miller going off, and Darius Dubček is going off. So there's Tommy Coyne, who's made a very good return to the first team squad. The last 2 or 3 matches he scored 3 times. So he replaces Miller, and Anton Rogo, the Northern Ireland international, replaces the Polish international, Darius Dubček. Well, Tommy Coyne will relish this opportunity to prove that he should have been in the scheme of things all along. And Anton Rogan renowned for his undying commitment to the Celtic cause.
Yeah, they've just moved Danny Craney to the right side here, and they're going to play basically with 3 right up there against the Rangers defence, because they do need a goal fairly quickly. You feel that Rangers are gaining in composure and confidence the longer the game goes on, Jock, and Celtic will have to make the breakthrough soon.
It's all very tidy, untidy rather, in midfield. Little space for these players to enjoy. Here's John Collins. And he still has possession. He's so strong as well as skillful. And Scott Nisbet will be in trouble. Well, you have to hand it to John Collins. Not only is he skillful and strong, but he is immensely brave.
Well, he is. If anyone ever doubted whether he was strong enough for this game, he showed it when he broke the tackle earlier. But I mean, Scott Nisbet is a big lad, and anyone running into him is going to come to a dead stop.
So Well, the referee is not entirely content, I reckon, with all the appropriate paperwork. He's going to have words now with Ali McCoist, and this must be for something said, I think. Well, source of some amusement to McCoist. This is McNally playing it in early. Woods taking it comfortably. So a new front three formation for Celtic with Jerry Crenny on the right, where he actually began his first team career. He started in the side as an outside right, an orthodox winger, and then proved his mettle through the middle. Elliott's header, turned back there by Grant. Up goes Coyne. Stevens happy to thump that clear. Pulling McNally's jersey there, and referee Brian McGinley entitled to be a little bit concerned about that, but good play from young McNally. Here's Grant. The header from Spackman. Houstra. Elliott gets there ahead of Hafley, but Hafley's won it from Elliott. Here's danger for Celtic. Well, there was a chance there undoubtedly for Mark Hafley. Paul Elliott knows he gave him an opportunity there.
Yeah, one of the few errors that he's made, but just lack of concentration. Could have cleared it quite easily, but got caught.
Collins again doing some sterling work in midfield for Celtic. Here's McNally, and now Nicholas. Hasn't been seen much in the second half apart from that shot off the post. Now Crenny going through the gap. Back it goes to Collins. Superb play from Celtic. And if any player in the field deserves a goal, it surely would be John Collins.
Yes, he performed particularly well, but this is the type of player that Celtic have needed. It was a good build-up involving Charlie Nicholas and Jerry Crenny again, and it's a well-struck shot from John Collins, but they do have to get Nicholas involved more, and Crenny. Balls into their feet. It was a success, it was the root of their success in the first half, and they haven't really showed it second half.
That came off the head of Mark Hafley. It's quite remarkable to think that John Collins has still to break his scoring duck for Celtic since his £900,000 transfer from Hibs in the close season. This is Coulton. Through it goes to Coyne. Well, the ball didn't run kindly for him. He had a fleeting chance there.
The ball just ended up a little bit too close to his body, Jockey, just under his feet a little bit when he tried to hit it.
Bailey winning that from Hafley. Grant's going to do battle there with Hurlock in midfield. This is Housetrap. Pass intercepted by Crenny. Good change of pace by Crenny. He has Collins breaking on the right. And down he goes again. Well, John Collins playing in his third Old Firm match, learning, if he had any doubts before, what it's all about.
It would be a referee.
But his resilience is remarkable. He has shown no signs of damage at all. Good header that from Crenny. No real test though for Chris Woods. It was just too far out, this header.
Yeah, he gets a good power on it, but it's quite comfortable in the end for Chris Woods.
So the downpour has become heavier. As Charlie Nicholas tries to go through, there's an offside flag up. There's the linesman, Charlie Nicholas showing his frustration. Well, it looked as though he may have been in line there, and they would put him onside now.
I think he had a case, Jock. Yeah, I think the new rule should have worked in his favour there.
McNally's throw. There's Coyne and Grant. Well challenged by McCoist. And Monroe was very accurate with the pass back as Nicholas closed in on Woods. Well, just look at the rainfall there, but the supporters inside Celtic Park disregarding that completely. Such is the fascination of the entertainment on display. Hately and Elliott up together again. The linesman and the referee agree that's a Rangers ball. Here's Nisbet. Well, that may well be as long a pass back as we've seen all season.
And it's not the kind of thing, if I was sitting in the Ibrox dugout, that I'd be wanting to see. You don't invite Celtic, I think he's incensed as well, he wants to get the ball forward. You don't invite Celtic to come forward and come at you. They did in the first half and they paid the penalty when they lost the goal, Jock. And you wouldn't want that again. Celtic don't need any invitation to attack sides, because that's what they love to do most.
The Rangers trying very hard now to take all the sting out of Celtic. Done a good containing job since they went ahead. Walters goes down, but there's no free kick. Here's Rogan. Nicholas with a header. The flag is up for offside against Coyne. Well, on that occasion, I reckon the linesman was right. Here's Sandy Robertson. Celtic finding it increasingly difficult to battle their way out of that heavily populated midfield area. Anxious look at the watch for Billy McNeill, the Celtic manager. Made a good tackle by Rogan and Hately. Rangers have it back though. Harlock, Hately. Here's Harlock again. And now McCoist. Monroe available in the left back position. Good running by McCoist. Now Houstra. Well headed out by Bailey. Here's Monroe, he'll use Nisbet on the far side. Again looking for Hately, that's too long and skidding away for the goal kick. Well, you have to hand it to Rangers, Andy. They really have sorted out their setup in the second half.
Yes, well I did say sometimes second halves you don't like to see them coming, and I think that Billy McNeill probably feels that now. He would have wanted that first half to go on and on and on. But Rangers, to their credit, have sorted themselves out. He obviously had some stern words and a few things to sort out at half-time. He's done it. And with this makeshift side he's got out, he must be absolutely delighted with their performance at the moment, Jock. Because they do look in control. You just get the feeling that Celtic are going to have to produce something special now. It looks like it might be slipping away from them.
And stamina at this stage will be very important. It's been a strength-sapping match so far. Going into the final quarter. There's McCoist. And Monroe. This is Sandy Robertson. Well tackled by Craney. Back goes McNally, having a careful look back to see where Houstra is. This is Craney. Getting help from Grant. Good run made up front by Coyne. Can he take on Spackman? Well, he managed Spackman, but not Monroe. A good run made here by Hately. Bailey comes across to challenge. Elliott drops back. And the free kick given against young Lex Bailey. Celtic undoubtedly now looking for some spark of inspiration. Bailey with Hately. This is Houstra. Near post cross, well taken by Bonner. No Rangers player making a run in that area. Nisbet's header. Harlock and Collins together, breaks for Bailey. Good quick pass finds Fulton. Well, the ricochet gives the ball back to Celtic. There's Peter Grant. And once again, Charlie Nicholas is adjudged offside. Well, Nicholas undoubtedly feeling things not going his way this afternoon. One magnificent effort early in the second half, and the score was 1 each, coming back off the inside of the post. Played some delightful football with Jerry Craney up front. Elliott wins it. This is Rogan. Spikeman doing well. So Celtic looking to their midfield general, John Collins, still to provide the service for the front men, but you wonder just how long Collins can keep that up. The race is on. Rogan with Hately. Rogan was quick enough. The referee would have given a foul, I think, against Hately had Celtic not retained possession. Elliott was impeded by McCoist. He came forward looking for that return pass. So 15 minutes remaining. Rangers leading by 2-1. Their international strike force. Johnston and McCoist getting the goals. Elliott scoring for Celtic. Here's Collins again. Caught late after releasing the pass. There goes Fulton. Collins beaten to that by McCoist. Here's Elliott. Oh, here's danger for Celtic now. Rangers breaking with Houstra. Well, he's checked back to wait for support. This is Hately. Well tackled by Bailey, who stayed on his feet again, stayed close to his man.
And McCoist had made a great run there, Jock, inside Mark Hately. If only I'd have looked up and seen him.
Now Coyne, followed across by Spikeman. Spikeman made the challenge. The referee reacts to the linesman's signal. That's a corner kick. Spikeman doesn't agree. Well, Celtic scored their goal from a set piece, a free kick near the corner flag with Paul Elliott, key man. It's taken by Fulton, headed away by Nisbet. Grant closed down by Walters. That's good play. Here's McNally. Elliott's up to the attack. Breaks back here. Nicholas trying to work it clear. And it finds its way back to Chris Woods from Terry Hurlock. Well, such an important player when the chips are down.
Yeah, we're loving this type of game, isn't it? All this in midfield, the tackling and that. But even in the heat of the moment, shows that he's still got composure to know when to just knock it back to his goalkeeper. But I'd just like to say, Jock, both teams, whatever the result ends up, have produced a magnificent feast for us today. Quality has been unbelievable. The pace of the game quite frantic at times. The quality is shown through right from the first minute. It's been marvellous to watch.
Here's Mark Walters now, trying to find a way through on the right, and there's going to be trouble here for Walters for diving. Well, now referee Brian McGinley is going to book Mark Walters. It's not the first time the referee has adjudged him to have dived. Walters can't quite believe that, but here's why the booking is going to be administered. Well, it's a very positive, brave piece of refereeing to make that decision.
I think he must have been watching our Italian football as well, Jock. It happens so often in Italy, this sort of thing, where referees do book players if they feel that they're diving.
Well, reminiscent of the Austrian referee in the Bulgaria against Scotland match, who did that to Stoichkov, caused something of a stir in Europe. Here's Collins. Picked up by McCoist, who's done a very good job for Rangers in the second half. Quite apart from scoring the goal by which they lead. Here's Walters. Houstra. Hately's dummy. Oh, that was well created by Rangers. McCoist tried to steer in the shot.
Oh, it's a very good move though, isn't it? Even this late in the game, the quality was there. Mark Hately knows, probably gets a call, and they're just trying to bend it round. Didn't quite have the finish of his colleague in the first half when Maurice Johnson loved the keeper, but the same type of idea he tried there. And he's had a tremendous second half, Ali McCoy, so much so that they really haven't missed Maurice Johnson. That's the best compliment I can pay him.
Well, the tradition when Celtic are behind late in the match is that there is no club in the country who put more into a finishing effort. So we can expect real fireworks in these closing stages. The Celtic players will be drawing on all their reserves for the final 10 minutes to save this match. Here's Collins. Now Fulton running into Hurlock. This is Haustra. Still Haustra. Craney getting back to nudge the ball to McNally. Well, in the late stages of the match, it might be the time when Collins misses the influence of Paul McStay at his elbow. Spackman's header, taking no chances. So the Celtic supporters too, you can depend on to build up the encouragement. Coyne, back it goes to Craney, breaks for a corner kick. Well, listen to the crowd now, an anticipation here as Elliott and Bailey come forward.
You can bet your life Rangers know that this game isn't over with, Jock.
No more dangerous side in the country than Celtic when they're behind late in the match. Never give up. Here's Fulton. Up goes Elliott. Slightly mistimed the header. Under a lot of pressure though. Well, one of the inspirational figures in the Celtic lineup, Paul Elliott, the one who keeps them going when there is any thought of slackening. There we go. Gives them the encouragement. And now the Rangers supporters responding. Now they'll have to worry about this Celtic attack. Good play by Robertson. He acquitted himself extremely well in his first Old Firm match.
Yes, he'll go home a very, very happy young lad, and it's all part of his learning process, Jock. And Mark McNally the same. Both have equipped himself admirably today and can be well pleased with their contributions.
But still more drama to unfold. You sense that inside Celtic Park at the moment. 2-1 to Rangers, the closing stages. McCoy's going for a run. Trying to prevent the ball going for a goal kick. And he succeeded. Good tackle by Hurlock. Here's Haitley. That's a superb tackle by Collins. The distribution too was faultless. Celtic now coming forward with Fulton. Craney making an angle on the touchline. Wants to go at the defence, has to take on Haustra and Monroe. Has enough confidence, but Monroe really is a very good tackler on his left side. There's Elliott. Always slightly surprised when people try to take on Stuart Monroe on his strong left side, Andy.
Yeah, he's a very, very good defender, Jock. Bags of experience and very rarely lets Rangers down.
There's Coyne beaten to that by Stevens. Spackman protesting to the referee that he was being pushed by Nicholas when the ball was in the air. That falls on deaf ears. Here's Coyne. Now Craney releasing the cross early and forcing Spackman to concede another corner kick. The pressure mounting again, just as it did in the first half. In the closing 10 minutes, and Celtic got the reward through this man, Paul Elliott, on that occasion. Can they do it again? Fulton driving it across. Rogan went hurtling in for that, but it breaks for Hurlock. It's one for Walters to chase. Man at the back is Grant. Corner sends it forward. Stevens doing well in central defence. And calmly turned back by Bailey. Good defending by the young central defender. There's Spackman, McNally. Elizabeth on his own here. Tommy Coyne looking for an error. Well, Rangers trying now to take all the sting out of things, keep it calm, keep possession. prevent Celtic getting any rhythm going in attack. There's a misunderstanding. The ball was out though. Steve Coulton is pulled back. Well, the gap would be 6 points between Rangers at the top and Celtic. Billy McNeill comes onto the track. He wants to get some additional impact into the Celtic side. Obviously not entirely happy with referee McGinley either. But there would be a 6 point gap, and that really would be a very substantial one at this stage in the season. So Celtic are desperate now to find their way through for an equaliser. It was House to take his eye off the ball. Can they do it, Andy?
Well, they're running out of time, Jock, and I would not be foolish enough to say, even with so little time left, that they couldn't do it.
So 5 minutes left. In comes Craney. That appeared to be handled by Monroe, but the referee waves play on. And the remarkable thing about an Old Firm match like this is that if Celtic were able to equalise at this point, both sides would look for a winner, wouldn't they?
Well, there's no doubt about that. That's the way this game's been played, and you come to a time like this, you're looking for men of the match. There's been too many, Jock. There's been too many wonderful performances today. We really have been fortunate to be here.
So that long ball forward leaves Pat Bonner skipping back to his box. Here's Rogan. Paul Elliott has gone forward. Elliott joining the attack. McCoist penalised there for a challenge on Grant. Well, Celtic now going for Brock.
Yes, and I think you feel they have to. You know, they've played very well, but Rangers have shut them out second half, defended well, and they've decided, let's get Paul Elliott up front, knock it up, see if we can get a bit of luck.
That's aim for Elliott. There he goes with the header. A bit of pushing though. Pushing by Elliott, picked up by the referee. A rueful smile on the face of Elliott. He knows full well, and so does Hateley, that was a deliberate little nudge.
That's when you see there, Jock, that little instant with Paul Elliott and Mark Hateley, that even there there's great respect for each other, isn't there? It's wonderful to see.
Touched on by Hallström, too far ahead of Hateley. It's a throw to Celtic. The Rangers fans now in full voice, they're sensing victory. So 3 minutes remaining for these Rangers fans to see out time. McNally still trying to play football from defence. Here's Grant, now Bailey. He has Rogan available on his outside. Coulton is ahead of him on the touchline. Robertson plays it back to Nisbet. Once again, Bonner has to come out to his penalty line to send the ball back upfield. So there's Stevens coming in under pressure from Elliott. There's asserting himself a little too much physically, conceding that free kick. Gary Stevens taking some time to recover. And Scott Nisbet also clutching his forehead. Walter Smith on with instructions.
I think just telling his Rangers players to put it in the corner if you can. But I think it's a day when Graham Souness will be a very proud man of this team. Many say has been thrown together with decimated by injuries. He'll be a very proud man, and if it finishes like this, I'm sure he'll feel that this is one of the best days as a Rangers manager.
Graham Souness still taking nothing for granted, sitting there beside the former Rangers manager John Gregg, now the public relations man at Ibrox. So free kick to Rangers.
And Billy McNeill, on the other hand, Jock, will be feeling that his team have deserved something, to have put so much quality into this and contributed so greatly to this game, to have come away with nothing. It will be really, really sad for him.
Here's McNally. Tackled well by McCoist. Such a favourite with the Rangers players, and clearly enjoying the occasion to the full. So perhaps the last chance for Celtic. Desperation now in the Celtic ranks. We're in the final minute now as they look for a dramatic late equaliser. They do appear to have run out of ideas. Rangers have tied the match up now. The referee indicating that he's checking his watch as Rangers take some time over the throw. Nudged away there by Crenny for the Rangers throw. Exactly what Hallstra wanted. Well, they're passing it on. There's going to be trouble here for Ali McCoist. McCoist is being shown the yellow card for deliberate time wasting. And the referee will add on some extra seconds. Handball surely by Crenny. No, the referee waves play on. Tackle by McCoist on Grant. There's Collins losing out to Hallstra. Celtic thin at the back now. But they do have Lex Bailey, who does well, winning that from Walters. And now McNally sends it forward. Elliott is still up with the attack, helping that on. Here's a chance now right at the end, and it couldn't be collected by Nicholas. Perhaps feeling the strain of a long, arduous match, hadn't quite the spring to collect this.
Yes, and it's just knocked forward, and even right up to the last minute, Celtic have almost produced an equaliser. Just a bit slack from Nigel Spackman, and Charlie Nicholas is only a couple of inches away from making contact.
So the long ball launched forward by Bonner. Harlock taking the ball wide. There's Nisbet. And all the way through it goes to Bonner. They've played a minute of time added on for stoppages. That's a disappointing kick out from Bonner. Goes straight to Hallstra. Here's Lex Bailey. Sidestepping McCoist. Has to get the ball forward now. There's no time to lose for Celtic. That's a great pass. Here's Steve Fulton. The last chance surely for Celtic. Right across the far post. Up goes Coyne with Monroe. Well, that appeared to strike the left arm of Stuart Monroe. Certainly appeared to be accidental. Celtic howling hopefully on the terraces for a penalty kick. In goes Elliott. It's well taken by Woods.
Oh, if it was at a time drop when you want your goalkeeper to come and collect a cross and take the pressure off, it was then. Tremendous goalkeeping by Chris Woods.
And that may well be the last opportunity for a gallant Celtic side. Still thinking only about getting the ball forward as McNally uses Pat Bonner to send this long ball downfield. Coyne underneath it. Elliott gives chase. We've had 2 minutes of extra time at the end of the match as Nisbet thumps that to safety. Can Celtic do it? Well, what have eyes now on referee McGinley. Here's Fulton. Back it comes to Rogan. Headed out by Spackman. Forward comes Bailey. Trying to get the ball back into the area. Here's Hateley now breaking for Rangers. And there goes the final whistle. Rangers have won. There is the goal scorer. In the second half, early on, Ali McCoist adding to the goal scored by Maurice Johnston in the first half. Paul Elliott scored for Celtic. The Celtic fans agreed. They think there should have been a free kick for a foul by Harlock on Fulton before McCoist scored the winner. But the important statistic is right before you now. The final score, Celtic 1, Rangers 2, and we'll be right back after this break.
McCoist to score the winning goal. The build-up to that goal was controversial, to say the least. Was that on your mind as you ran away with the ball?
No, Dave. The first thing I did when I ran onto it was check the linesman. I knew I wasn't offside because I made the run. I think it was just behind Paul Elliott, and I checked the linesman because I think there was an incident in the middle of the park which I didn't see. But no, it wasn't on my mind. As soon as I saw the linesman flag down, I was just on my way.
Given that this was a very important game for Celtic and given your injury problems, were you apprehensive about this game?
I'm a little bit apprehensive because I think, as you said, we've got horrendous injuries at this moment in time. But the main thing the manager wants is having a squad of players who can come in with suspensions and injuries, and that proved it today. Especially young lads, I thought Nisbet and Robertson. Considering their atmosphere at Parkhead, they handled it magnificently well.
You're now top of the league. Are you going to stay there?
I sincerely hope so. I don't see any reason why not. I'll get 1 or 2 injuries, as I said, but I'm sure they'll be coming back, and we're going to win the league, hopefully.
Ali, thanks very much. Congratulations.
David Livingston with Ali McCoist. Let's check the Premier Division table then, shall we? The champions back on top on goal difference from Aberdeen, who won 3-2 at Dundee United yesterday, and Celtic 6 points adrift of those two. Well, Murdo McLeod, Ali McCoist fairly convinced he wasn't offside. Didn't look that way from up here, did it?
Yeah, I thought he got the break of the ball today, maybe slightly offside. I think everybody's looking at the incident before it with Terry Harlock. Having to look back at that incident, here we are, we're seeing it.
Well,
No, well, maybe he's getting played on there. Maybe Ali was right enough. But again, he's been through the goalkeeper. He's waited for Pat to make the first move. And he stuck the ball in the net tremendously well.
whether he was on or off, he took it wonderfully, didn't he?
Yeah, I think we've seen 3 tremendous goals today. From Maurice Johnson's, Paul Elliott, and Coyce's finish there was world class.
Just wonder about Paddy Bonner. Maybe he slipped, but he really should have been trying to stay on his feet in that situation.
That's right. The last thing you want to do is make the player's mind up. When the keeper stays, you've got to make the keeper move. Ali McCoy's has made Paddy Bonner go down, went round him, stuck the ball in the net.
Entertainment value, out of 10 rating?
Yeah, 10 out of 10. Thoroughly enjoyable game. Celtic were very unfortunate. They pushed forward the whole game. John Collins took control of the game, looked very good. The player has direct opposition. Terry Hullock was superb today. The two of them, the two midfield players, I thought, contrast to one another, both of the best players for either
Players like
side.
Stevens in a makeshift Rangers side, Spackman who had to slot into the centre of the defence in the second half, all played very well.
Yeah, all credit to the Rangers today for all the injury problems they've got. To put out a performance like that today is tremendous.
Well, Murdo McLeod, thanks very much for joining us. 2-1 then, the latest chapter in this Old Firm saga ends to the reigning champions, Glasgow Rangers. Hope very much indeed you enjoyed it. We'll look forward to the pleasure of your company next time out, but for the time being, from a very wet, windy and cold Glasgow, it's a very good afternoon to you. Bye-bye for now.